So our speaker today is somebody who knows about nature and knows about the lessons that nature can teach us. And because she tells us about them frequently when she comes to visit us. It's Reverend Joyce Zoeger.
It's nice to be heard. Thank you for being here. And I haven't been here in a while. I was blessed to be able to go to Asilomar again for a spiritual retreat for 5 days and got to see Rich and Sheila there too. They came in on Wednesday when Karen Drucker was there. And she's just so amazing. I just love her music. There's a song that I came across while I was going through some papers of mine. It's called Blessing to the World. And she says, "You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of the Spirit on earth. Who you are and all you do is a blessing to the world." So I take that in. It's just a beautiful thing to remind ourselves that we are a blessing to the world. Is that sun bothering you? Do you want to move over there? Move to the other seat there. It's not in his back. Yeah.
Just move.
Just move. Be comfortable, but you're always in the light, Karen. You know that. Yes, always in the light. All right. Pretty much Amanda said everything I was going to say on about nature, but I do have some things that I wrote down. I spent some time doing this when I got back. But while I was gone, my daughters, two of my daughters were there, and they took care of the ranch. And the youngest one loves to be outdoors, and she took care of the animals and the property, and the other one likes to be indoors, and she changed everything around, and I can't find anything. But she did an amazing job in cleaning things up that I don't see. I don't see spiders and dirt anymore. That's actually a blessing. Let them live. They're enjoying life. Why should I disturb them? But anyway, I have the weather out where I live and out beyond Lake Lopez. It's called California Valley, I guess, when you see the weather report. It's much harder out there than it is when you hear about the weather report in Rio Grande. I've been going through days after days of 100 or 100. One day was 110, and I don't have air conditioning. So I create my own air conditioning by opening all the windows at night and letting the cool air come in. Thank you, God, for the cool air that comes in. And then because I have a wraparound porch and a 2-story house, it helps to keep it cool inside. Actually, with fans have worked too. And my dogs are so grateful because I let them in the house where it's cool. So they're happy. I'm such a good mother to my animals. I just love my animals, and they are my family too. And anyway, I'm sorry. Well, actually, it's much cooler down by the barn. I have kind of a hillside that goes down to the barn, and there's oak trees everywhere, and it's so cool down there. So no, I don't let the horses in. They wouldn't appreciate it. But one of my horses has been sick. She's my old mare. She's 31 now, and I've had horses that live a long time. One lived to be 37. But she had perfect teeth, but this mare does not, and she's having trouble eating, so I'm not sure how much longer Candy is going to be around. I've had her since she's been 2. I got her from a Cal Poly equine program that auctioned there in May of 1997, and she was the one that brought my husband and I out to this Central Coast because we drove out to get her, and we loved the area so much, and we decided we were going to bring our horses. And we found this property, and we call it Feather Ranch, which is a story about that. My husband found a feather when he was walking the property before we knew we had the property, and it was we made an offer, and we were waiting to see whether it would be honored. And I said to John, if we get this property, John, let's call it the Feather Ranch. And that to me is my story. We've lived there almost 30 years now, and love it there and talk about nature. It is who I am. I've always loved the outdoors, and this is something that I miss riding on all over the property. That's why we bought the property, because I could saddle and ride right off the land. But I'm getting up there in years. I have to honor myself and the aging process. And when John was suffering Alzheimer's for the last so many years of our life together, I didn't want to ride and have an accident or fall off, or because I needed to take care of him. And so that's why I stopped riding. But I do miss it so much. I love watching Western movies, and I love to just sit. I walk in the morning with my dog. Each dog gets a half an hour out of walking, and in the morning and in the evening. And I walk, and I have this big log, a tree that had fallen down, and it has no bark on it, but it's just nice and smooth. And I sit on that log, and I call it my prayer log. So every morning I say a spiritual mind treatment for my day. This is my day, and I create the day with my thoughts. And so I invite you all to know how important our thoughts are. I mean, this is something that when I hear any kind of negativity, I say, cancel, cancel. That is not the truth of who I am. And so this is totally off of, I had all these pages I was, and it was just in the music that you sang, all of it. It's, anyway, it's, I have to say, nature just astounds me, because I have white oak and red oak on my property, and the acorns that are dropped are as big as a quarter. And when you realize, when I look up at those trees that are so immense from a little tiny acorn, it just astounds me that how nature, it just is such a miracle. There's miracles happening all the time, just recognizing them and appreciating them. And where else can you do that but out when you're out in nature? So take yourself out in nature as often as you can. And I invite you. Many women came out to my place when I had the women's group out there a couple of months ago, and it was just a beautiful experience. I'd love to do that more often, but not right now, because I am still recovering from being gone and just trying to. I'm still doing my. I have to tell you all that tomorrow and Tuesday, I'm going to work on getting my 2025 taxes together to get that sent in, because I have until October. So that, that will be, that's the latest miracle to get that done, taking care of. I just have been too involved with nature and loving my life, and I don't want to do that, just sitting there in the house and doing all that stuff. I'd much rather be outdoors and walking and breathing in the air and breathing the night air. I go outside, and whenever I feel stressed, I just walk outside on my porch and start doing some focused breathing, and that helps me to calm down whatever I'm dealing with, especially with my dogs, because they've been a challenge for me. They're 9 years old, almost 9 years old now. So I wrote this. This is so when I walk under the giant oak trees on my property, I cannot help but wonder how an acorn the size of a quarter could produce such magnificence. This reminds me that every seed contains the entire blueprint of the mature plant, needing only the right environment to express its potential. And I think that that's what we are. We are born from a seed, and we express our true potential when we allow that to express. And the silence is so important, to have time during each day to be in the silence, to be able to, there's so much that comes to me in the silence. And I love when you say in the silence. That brings me into that peaceful place, that peace that passes all understanding. And that is just so beautiful that we honor that within each one of us. I wrote down, an acorn doesn't strive to become an oak. It simply unfolds its innate nature. Our divine potential is already programmed within us. Our divine potential is already programmed within us. Our job is to cultivate the right consciousness for that growth. Cultivate the right consciousness for that growth. It's like the soil that cultivates the potential of the seed that falls within it. Nature teaches us the necessity of rest, release, and renewal. It gives and asks nothing in return, only that we see and soak up its beauty, the color and sound. It is God. I love this, and of course, this is so beautiful. And I hope if you didn't get this, copy it, read it, and copy it. It's a beautiful thing on where God waits, and I love what it finishes saying. It says, nature. I love this last sentence. It is God's daily tranquilizer. Isn't it beautiful? We don't have to take pills. We just have to be out in nature, and that's the tranquilizer. It helps to calm us, to see the birds flying in the sky, to hear the sound of the birds. That's to me, that's a tranquilizer to me. I wrote down, nature seasons teach us this transitory aspect of our own lives. I wrote, each period gives way to the next. Each contains a time of preparation, ripening, maturing, and dying, only to be born again. And I love the workshop this afternoon, because I do believe that our lives continue. Our lives are eternal. And I believe that when the body can no longer support the soul, that the soul chooses to leave and out there, wherever it may be, and come back again in some form of life. I believe a higher level of consciousness. That's my belief. I wrote down, as with nature, our old behaviors and perceptions give way to new ones. We must let go of the old to be receptive to the new. When we cling to habits and beliefs that served us in our younger days and do not re-examine them, we are out of sync with the cycle. The progression of the seasons remind us that change is constant, healthy, and inevitable. We are temporary tenants, yet there is beauty in our transience. Transience is a beautiful word when talking about the passing of the nature of life, experience, and beauty or time. That transience is I love that word, transience. It's a beautiful word when talking about the passing of the nature of life, experience, and beauty or time. There are some magnificent quotes that I have come across while I was preparing for my talk. I just love the quotes, some of the quotes that was in the newsletter, this wonderful newsletter that comes out at the beginning of each month. It's really a gift. I always copy it and keep it. I keep it along with my immense file system that I have. But here are some of the quotes that I liked, and I hope to share it with you. And Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "Adapt the pace of nature. Her secret is patience." Isn't that the truth? Patience. I am learning patience with, I've learned a lot of patience with my two dogs, Toby and Lucy, trying to train them because they're hunting dogs and they are beyond, I never had a hunting dog. Blue tick hound, German short-hair pointer, they hear sounds that I don't hear. They smell things that I don't smell. They are amazing, amazing creatures. And they're always picking up a sound somewhere. Why are they barking? You know, they heard something. And the other day, you were asked about a mountain lion. They were barking at a mountain lion that was crossing our property. And I was glad that they were there, letting that mountain lion know, don't come closer, don't come into the backyard where we are. So yeah, I live out in nature, truly live out in nature and love it. And I have no fear because God is here, and I just really believe that I am loved and guided and directed and know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. That's what I say every day in my prayer, to know what to do, how to do it, and when to do it. One of the hardest things for me since my husband John passed away in 2022 is just trying to figure out how things work, and the generator. There's so many things that I and then I find out how they work, and then to remember how I found out how they worked. I don't know. I blame it on the aging process, but now I'm taken to writing things down more and making lists for myself so that I have a little bit of guidance there and know know how to function in this life. There's a lot to know. There's a lot to know in this life. Another quote is by Albert Einstein. He said, "Look deep into nature, and then you will understand everything better." I hear noise. What is? Is it that the mountain lion? I'm always listening for things. I'll read this again because I need to hear it. Look deep into nature, and then you will understand everything better. Yes, and all that Amanda. I know a lot of these people by those names, but she just hit the spot. She was wanting to. Amanda texted me and or emailed me, and she wanted to have something that applied to nature, and I had made some suggestions to her, and I told her, I said, well, read this, that'll give you some ideas of what I'll be talking about. But she found something else, and I love what she read. It was very informative, and so that was pretty much, if you go back and listen to that rather than my talk, you'll get more out of that probably than what I have to say. Maybe not, because I'm charming. I can be very charming when I want to be. I choose to be, yes, I do. Yeah. I can be pretty silly too. I like laughter. I think that laughter is, it helps to lighten my soul, and I have to laugh every day. I find things to laugh at. Okay, another William Shakespeare quote: "The earth has music for those who listen." And the birds are the music to me. They just, I feed them. I buy 20-pound bags of bird seed every week. They are eating me out of house and home. My animals are, and they go through a 20-pound bag of birdseed. The best place to get this birdseed now is at Ace Minor if it's on sale, or Costco. It's even a better price there. So, yeah, they love my property. And so do the ground squirrels, I was telling. That inner charm. Yeah, I love the birds. I had some dental work done, and I am able to whistle now. And I whistle to the birds now. And I never could whistle before, but they left it. I don't know. I go into these stories. I could tell you some silly stories, but I have to stick to my talk here. I had to, and we have a workshop afterwards too. Okay, so another Frank Lloyd Wright. Study nature, love nature, stay close to nature. It will never fail you. And that's why I choose to stay where I am. People are saying, Joyce, you're almost 90 years old. How can you stay there and take care of all that you're taking care of? And I said, this keeps me young. This keeps me going. And it's, they'll have to drag me out of there. My daughters know that. So I'll just be there as long as I am needing to be there. And God will tell me when it's time to leave. Because this is where I need to be right now. I watched a movie in 1950. I watched a movie called The Marigold Hotel. Have you ever seen that movie? I came down, I wrote, it says there was a quote in the movie that I wrote down, and I posted it on my hall calendar. And this is what it says. It says, there is no time like the present. There is no present like the time. That is why the present is a gift. So that's to remind me, how important each day is, the time that we move through the day and what we choose to do during that time. When we step into nature, we often imagine we are leaving the world behind, yet what we are really leaving is the noise we have mistaken for life. Beneath that noise waits a deeper silence, a silence that is not empty but full. It is the stillness in which the soil remembers its source. I believe that that source is everywhere present. That source is within each one of us. We express that source as well. And in August of 2025, I have a dear friend. Her name is Lynn, and we get together a couple of times a month, and we have lunch together at Feather Ranch. And she is so spiritual. We have lots of time. We meditate. We do a lot of conversations on the spirit. And I told her I was speaking on nature, and I really feel that nature as teacher, and I said, what would you like to contribute to that? And she did. And this is what she said. She says, "O Spirit, I worship thee as beauty and intelligence in the temple of nature. I worship thee as power in the temple of activity, and as peace in the temple of silence." I thought that was so beautiful, and I wanted to honor her because she gave me those words to share with you. In August of 2025, that was just a year ago, last August, the Gifford Fire raged through the Los Padres National Forest. The final report of the size was 131,614 acres, about 206 square miles. It was described as one of the largest wildfires in California history. And it really affected me because it was on High Mountain Road where I live, and I was evacuated for 10 days. So I'm very much aware of what damage fires can do, but how restorative that nature is. And the first stage of healing from the fire is already taken place out there. It says there's given enough rain, time, and favorable conditions, the hillsides are becoming green and they're flowering again. And birds are often the first earliest wildlife that comes back after a fire because the insects become plentiful in the growth, the new growth from a fire. So I've had a lot of birds this spring, more so than ever before. And I wondered why, and that's why, because they're coming back after the destruction of the fire, and now the insects are being attracted to the new growth of the fire. So even the fire is something that nature I must have, I think, for its own reasons. And so the healing aspect of nature can teach us that no matter what we go through in life, and this is so important to me, with faith we can rise stronger. What we believe shapes our reality, and healing is possible. And nature does not fight against change. It adapts and teaches us resilience. And I think resilience is such an important word. To have to move through this life with grace and ease and fortitude and gratitude and an attitude of knowing that we'll get through it. This is what nature teaches us, because there's changes every day out in nature and changes within our lives as well. So I wrote down, the healing presence and power that God is abides in all life, expressing the life that God has placed within it. The healing presence and power that God is abides in all life, expressing the life that God has placed within it. We are not separate from God or each other. What we do to the web of life, we do to ourselves. And even if we are city or housebound, we can still receive from nature. One flower or houseplant can do it. And our stepping outside for air, or closing our eyes and breathing with the wind. I just did that. I've been doing that more and more, closing my eyes and breathing with the wind. It's such a cleansing feeling. You can do that anywhere, to just take a walk and just close your eyes and just breathe in and focus on the breath and breathing in and releasing. The breath is so important. It says, no grand vistas are required. Nature gives and asks nothing in return, only that we see. Only that we see. There's so much to see. And don't close your eyes to the beauty of nature. It's everywhere present. And may you just soak up nature's beauty, the color and the sound. And as I said, it's God's daily tranquilizer prescribed just for you and just for me. So enjoy. And I love you all, and I'm so glad I'm back, and so good to be here. And thank you for the love and for who you are. I appreciate that. And that's my message today.